Well, let me welcome our friends and colleagues from Morocco for this very important first session of the U.S.-Morocco Strategic Dialogue.
I stay up, never sleep, case we gotta go. That way. Nation D, Mufti's on the road, 70. I stay up, sleep ain't in my plan. Why? Cause there they go, trying to sense the process in my land. My land. We get all the profits in my land. God bless all the prophets in my land. My land. Take off on my flight before my land. Yeah, my land. Yeah, my land. Buried in hate, shine with the love. I am a God. Honor my fam, longer my days. Guy in the shot. I throw the Hail Mary, get bloody like Carrie. Die in my prime, like busting the grape, then pressing rewind. Get better with time, I phone home to the fortress. Memorize all the records of the Moors, lie buried in my conscience. Library of the Congress, lies buried by the context. 1492, talk about the Spanish when it came to conquest. In real life, playing contraband, trunk filled with the contraband. Hard life for an honest man, all night for my daughter. On a hot block with no matzah, can my land. That's express trust in the plan. You I lead, prophet the man. Who I be, count with Steve Vance. Yes, indeed, this be my land. I stay up, never sleep, place we gotta go. That way. Nation D, Mufti's on the road, 70. I stay up, sleep ain't in my plan. Why? Cause there they go, trying to sense the process in my land. My land. We get all the profits in my land. God bless all the prophets in my land. My land. Take off on my flight before my land. Yeah, my land. Yeah, my land.
It's not a city corpse. 10,000 years haven't been a corpse. Foreigners came to my land pointing guns and swinging Jesus cross. Empire, not a cityscape. 5 atomic, not shitty lakes. Continent, not Turtle Island. Nobleman, not a wild man. Home is North America, not a stranger, but the landlord. Free white people, not Negro, black, Ethiopia, colored. Navigating with no water. Blacks are still getting slaughtered. Nationality, the order. Foreigners create war borders. Calling themselves governors since they can't call themselves babe. To keep you in ignorance, they replace the E with the A. Keep you defended, always a defendant. Kill your brother over sneakers, but when the highwaymen kill you, you won't defend it.
I stay up, never sleep, place we gotta go. That way. Nation D, Mufti's on the road, 70. I stay up, sleep ain't in my plan. Why? Cause there they go, trying to sense the process in my land. My land. We get all the prophets in my land. God bless all the prophets in my land. My land. Take off on my flight before my land. Yeah, my land. Yeah, my land. Whoa, I stay up.
Islam.
Place we gotta go. That way. Nation D, Mufti's on the road.
It is a violation.
I stay up, sleep ain't in my plan.
Dignity.
Trying to sense the process in my land. My land.
As long as there's blood,
God bless all the prophets in my land.
the name of God, true and lasting peace.
My land.
This is how we made our workflow better than ever with Monday.com. It gave our team
The shadow box. You close-minded, then you boxed in. The shadow box. Perfect your craft, become a marksman.
Levitate, this hoverboard rap. Thank me now, you're welcome like a floor mat. Beat my 4 A mad tarot deck, I sought that. Pulled the magician, now you see my forecast. Royal Palace in the crystal ball. I'm a fully spitting bullets, that's John Wall. We dialing up classics in its own call. How you bounce back after the fall? That's a question. We building, not finessing. You got complaints or suggestions. Decided law is my reference. Y'all decorate. The essence is my preference. No hesitation with the demonstration. On my back is where you find the nation. No hesitation with the demonstration. On my back is where you find a nation. Shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. You close-minded, then you boxed in. The shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. Perfect your craft, become a marksman. Shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. You close-minded, then you boxed in. The shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. Perfect your craft, become a marksman.
Step into this ring, the gods of war sing. Drum steady pounding to the bloodstream coursing. Heed their warning just before the sword swings. Move north 4 degrees, avoiding its sting. Listen to their voices, sight unseen. Quiet all the noises, focus on just being. I am one with the breeze that eases through the trees. I am one with the earth underneath your feet. I am water walking land in the form of man. The king of Siam, I am that I am. I'm that fire that's burning deep inside your heart. The synchronized senses moving your body parts smoothly with fluidness, highly intuitive. Knew the movements of your fists before you even did. With each step left, right, feeling oddly compelled, cause the shadow box with God is to spar with the self.
Shadow box, the shadow box. You close-minded, then you boxed in. The shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. Perfect your craft, become a marksman. Shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. You close-minded, then you boxed in. The shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. Perfect your craft, become a marksman.
Recognize your dark aspects, I don't mean skin tone. Outside truths in the house, demons you bring home. Outside clothes on your bed, sleep with a night hat. Paralysis when you sleep, dreams every night bad. Subconsciously suppressed aspects, acts called jump. About negative behaviors, unravel is done. See the deepest trauma and guilt you push away. Causes depression, addiction, and anger you display. Identity is central to the practice of magic. Witchcraft help you rewrite and conquer your habits. Detrimental to the growth, exploring the shadow self of man. Learn the lesser banish with pentagrams. Get a black candle, a pen or a pin. Scratch shadow emotions and let the healing begin. Light it and meditate, burn it down to the end. It's locked in. This is what we call shadow boxing.
Shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. You close-minded, then you boxed in. The shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. Perfect your craft, become a marksman. Shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. You close-minded, then you boxed in. The shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. Perfect your craft, become a marksman.
Said black means death, but y'all blind and deaf and can't read truth you can't find. Miss Drew Ali lessons waiting for Jesus. Teaching lies is competence, nigga doesn't mean niggas. More doesn't mean black, it means more bite. And high priest of a new, holding the marvelous light. 7 orbs in our palm, we are ancients returned. From the line of roots, skin looks like brass burned. Hair looks like Zoroaster, face of an Olmec. Sundial is my watch, FOA trip your Rolex. Major not minority, no clicking heels like Dorothy. Flames on a straw man, no joining their sorority. Great seal is not Illuminati, but Moorish. Disrespect Moors and we might get boorish. We're in our own land, fam, don't call me a tourist. I use the floor more, fine-tuning my auras. Let them know that I'm back in the booth, back for the youth. Words coming out of mouth is the truth. Let them know that you're back in the booth, back for the youth. Words coming out of mouth is the truth. Let them know that I'm back in the booth, back for the youth. Words coming out of mouth is the truth. Let them know that you're back in the booth, back for the youth. Words coming out of mouth is the truth.
Get your foot up off my ottoman. empire built for an Ottoman. Never mix me up for them Ottoman. I'm writing with an iron pen. Good life and not a gym. Born in an empire, not in sin. Moorish American, round table, Moorish ordering. I am feminine and masculine. Principle, rights inalienable. So I'm able. Now Cain wants to kill me. Biblical. My brother who pretends to be brotherly. Try to put me back in slavery. Confederate flags under my cherry tree. Washington cut it down, but Washington is still in me. Moors, yo, I speak the tongue, uplift the blind, the deaf, the dumb, and everything is mine, you some. Legislative act, municipal outcomes. Animal farm, I see the reruns. Nation never cared for a president. Trudeau in a turban, that's evident. Major, not minor, that's permanent.
Let them know that I'm back in the booth, back for the youth. Words coming out of mouth is the truth. Let them know that you're back in the booth, back for the youth. Words coming out of mouth is the truth. Let them know that I'm back in the booth, back for the youth. Words coming out of mouth is the truth. Let them know that you're back in the booth, back for the youth. Words coming out of mouth is the truth.
Of course, nobody's supposed to talk about that. Many of them still in this movement. You understand what I'm saying? To kill the civic side of this movement so people can think it's just another black religious Islamic sect. You get? That was their mission, to establish that fake reality, not reality, but that fake appearance of reality, that semblance, that color to the people, which is the color that most people have of the Moorish movement now. And anyone says that's not true is a liar, because that's the concept that people have of this movement. Until we came out and started reaching out to them while everybody else was being silent, condemning us for doing it too. And we put literature out there to change their concepts so they could have something to reference to. You understand? Just like the prophet said do. Exactly what the prophet said do. People mad at us, still mad at us for it. I don't care. Because I'm not in it for them. I got babies. And they got babies. And they got babies, and the babies that's still in the womb. And I ain't having it. And I'm a soldier. I came as a defender for Noble Dwelling. That's why I do what I do. I'm telling you bluntly. And I ain't afraid. Of course, nobody's supposed to talk about that. Many of them still in this movement. You understand what I'm saying? To kill the civic side of this movement so people can think it's just another black religious Islamic sect. You get? That was their mission, to establish that fake reality, not reality, but that fake appearance of reality, that semblance, that color to the people, which is the color that most people have of the Moorish movement now. And anyone says that's not true is a liar, because that's the concept that people have of this movement. Until we came out and started reaching out to them while everybody else was being silent, condemning us for doing it too. And we put literature out there to change their concepts so they could have something to reference to. You understand? Just like the prophet said do. Exactly what the prophet said do. People mad at us, still mad at us for it. I don't care. Because I'm not in it for them. Of course, nobody's supposed to talk about that. Many of them still in this movement. You understand what I'm saying? To kill the civic side of this movement so people can think it's just another black religious Islamic sect. You get? That was their mission, to establish that fake reality, not reality, but that fake appearance of reality, that semblance, that color to the people, which is the color that most people have of the Moorish movement now. And anyone says that's not true is a liar, because that's the concept that people have of this movement. Until we came out and started reaching out to them while everybody else was being silent, condemning us for doing it too. And we put literature out there to change their concepts so so they can have something to reference to. You understand? Just like the prophet said do. Exactly what the prophet said do. People mad at us, still mad at us for it. I don't care. Because I'm not in it for them. I got babies. And they got babies. And they got babies, and the babies that's still in the womb. And I ain't having it. And I'm a soldier. I came as a defender for Noble Drawing. That's why I do what I do. I'm telling you bluntly. And I ain't afraid.
Move the force of the conscious game. Superstars won't spend all those G's just a supercar. I'd rather put the funds to move the force guns. Dr. Sebi remedy in trucks, skids and tons. Signing bonus, gift to Gabriel or Igbo or UMIA, let more replace Negro. I'm not the face watcher or friend beggar. I'm not the type to take back what I tell ya. Tight pants and dry flows, I want a Rockefeller. Black Hawk down, a fly rapper and snap propellers. Airspace in these bars are no flow zones. I heard R&B singers are homo drones. I heard that from a gay rapper dressing so thug. G's can't pass butt cheeks, dressing so snug like a snuggle bear, showing me your underwear. Rapper Inquisition make rappers run from fear of being shown up. You already thrown up, punchlines and hooks leave their face swole up. Or like the triads, if you don't pay what's owed up. Rapper Inquisition, horror flick, the lips sewn up. Can't go one-on-one for IHF zone up. Using the fiat and deals, pumping their clones up. Making more rap clones like iRobot. Short circuit the whole industry of rap flow bots. That butt's boinking. Working with the ones oinking. Hip-hop's hurting IHF, the vocal ointment. Flow like a break waves and b-boy girl dancers. Spit like pain of old school graphers. Fiend for the true hip-hop scratching like a producer. MC OGs with content that you used to. Fiending for true hip-hop scratching like a producer. MC OGs with content that you used to.
They want make we life hard like pavement. Me no afraid to make my statement. Babylon go on with the mental and physical enslavement. Think right now if we a live like cavemen. How much go dead off, how much now go make it. The righteous replace them, the most side erase them. Discrimination, plague in we nation. Unity is strength, we weak with separation. Jailhouses meant to deplete elevation. Wisdom visit on the deep meditation. All you have to see on the sleep medication. Herbs are the healing of the nation. Tell them police, they that stop chase man especially. Since me know no phone no place that's flirt got the truth. Me know say you can't take that. See them chat ya this rasta. Nah take back you don't know.
Couldn't grasp half of the shit that we've been through. These clip ass niggas making comments on YouTube. TorontoRappers.com talking about you too. Generation switch, shouldn't have to show you. Big man grow, bitch, don't worry about the old school. Haven't seen a man you used to see before. Cause certain man don't want the face see no more. Get off our dicks, your pussies is whores. Tendencies of a bitch, you should learn to be a more. And while you're hating, we'll keep repping T.O. and celebrating, cause enough soldiers soon home. We penetrating, got the locks and the codes. So do your own time, bro. We alright. Everybody on their own ground, but we still tight. It's just a miscommunication, which brothers don't fight. You need an occupation, or I forgot you tight. Shit about other man, cause you covered their life. But your business you should mind though, cause we work nights. And you ain't hard to find once darkness comes to light. And I don't care, you can take my flesh life here. I manifest, and I come back in your nightmares. And I kill you there, I've been traveling for light years. I can't die, but they won't see you horny or you won't wake up. Need to call the coroner, another wake up. Your boys will be corona, cause they sluts. Reminiscing while the morning saying what the. Just yesterday we was vlogging with each other. Shouldn't I? With just another brother and the rest of the camp. 2 decades straight, we've been making a stamp. Yeah, I know you say you don't even know me. I make it clear I'm a Flemodon OG. Year to year, made stacks off the Mosies from the block to the bars. I'm known we between the rats and the stars. I play it low-key looking down, and it's far at the top, it's getting lonely.
course, the ages that exist, whether or not it's informed by my lips, labeled angelic or devilish, based on the view the beholder gets. The older we get, our perspectives and action change, regardless lines drawn between those that intend to hinder gain. Similar, not the same feet, which others see, they're left to complain. The reference frame change while still thinking life is a game. While we train, in this battlefield, knowing when karmic kicks is real, my mental plus my tempo must be ready to switch from hurt to heal. It's true to reveal similarities since they be following orders accordingly from trust to destiny. So mercy's unnecessary, murder honorably one's enemy, and as long as common mode exists, an opposition has to be.
Come test me now. Come test me now. Yeah, come test. I'll flatten your career, make a whack rap. Now, too many whack rappers out there. This one's for y'all, yo. Simon, I'll flatten your career, make a whack rapper disappear. Grab you by your shirt back and kick your ass out of here. Bystanders run for cover, cause I'm back to reap havoc. Remember me? To kill them all and make them die tragic. Turn the opposition, cock it back and let them have it. Let them vanish like I'm a magician and raps my magic. And like poof, you're gone. With the proof I'm on. To all you non-substance rappers, if you want, respond. Give y'all a second, but I recognize you're repping some metrosexual shit. That's not the way that I'm stepping. I studied last year's test and skimmed the cheat sheets. So test me now, kill commercial rap like dead meat. If you don't know, I'm Simon Phoenix and I dead beats. Hung commercial rap on front page, I can't be discreet. Lyrically dumb heat, leaving bodies in tall heaps. No mortal can walk like I do, now bow and kiss my feet. Call me sire, throw out your skinny jeans and retire. Back you up against the wall with hail or gunfire. Sharp talent shred your skins and shatter your bones. Stay out of the kitchen, better yet drop the microphone. Steadily prepping better recipes. I rap till the end, but rap won't be the death of me. Let a shower posse when I catch ya. I wet ya, then blow you up the crime scene. All that's left is your stretcher. So test me now, make your fans convert. Have them wearing fatigues and burning tight pink ass shirts. Have them dashing out the flashy clothes like I'm not Tron. Mailing me pipe bombs labeled the wannabe rap icon. Check me later, I'm gone. Thought I died, but I respond. My words are bondable, but when I speak, don't respond. I drown shallow-minded MCs in a shallow pond. Mobilize a million men to march like I'm Farrakhan. But I'm more like Malcolm and my brother's son Falcon. Chasing crazy ball heads out of our town after I scalp them. Bit up more than you can chew, motherfuckers. Come test me now. So test me now. So test me now.
It's still IHF, still ill, hunting feds. The type to leave a body guy leaking from his head. Dirty like the naps in my head. The enemies still want me dead, but mentally I cause their bodies to combust spontaneously. I be that ghetto dentist, removing chest cavities with my psychopathic surgery. My incision won't be circular.
Islam, peace to all the Moors. So some Moors sent some LOL emojis and stuff last night. Sent some LOLs because we already know. We already know. Send some LOLs. So let's just hear what's going on. Let's just hear what's going on. Let's see if any Throat University comes up. Let's see if any Throat University comes up.
6, and of course with your surety bond of all so-called magistrates, etc., and the legislature, the Congress, etc., that's the venue. Now, and this is when say years ago, say 20 years ago more, when we would have people send their proclamation, lawful notice to the different venues. That's to put them on general notice and you'll see some of them, we said, send it to the different, 7 different places, including the treasury. That's what that was for.
Right? That's what that was for. And more still doing that today. More still have their judicial proclamation, their name correction that they filed from years ago, like you said, because back then is when we did ours. Because that was just the standard for Moors. You get your paperwork, send it to 7 locations, or go down to the county, file it at the county level, then put all these people on notice. That was just the standard. You know, big deal. When you say you're a Moor, that's what you did. That was the standard. That's been going on for 30, 40 years. People selling you packages. Remember I told you that he's cussing them out to their face. All the people who were playing status correction BS, master teachers gave it to you right there. Hey, we've been doing that years ago. Put them on notice. Because if you don't put them on notice, they're going to assume you're a nigger and treat you like their property. Period. So we're just telling you the stuff that GSK, Taj, Tarik Bey, and Dr. G eclipsing the DC and official house of this and that. The same stuff that he's telling them to do right now, we been did. Now we ask all you people out there who just came yesterday. You put people on notice about your status being Moorish American, or you playing games? Are you aligned with that spiritually or nationally or both, or you playing around? You just out here playing around, or are you really Moors? Because you know, Woodrow said that, you know, in order to change the people, you must change their literature. And when you go check Moorish literature, Taj Tarik Bey's name's gonna come up. And then you could go check the literature, and then you could fact check it, and then double fact check it, just to see, is he talking BS, or is what he's talking about really information that I could use that's practical in my life right now? So people have you warped as to what this is. And you're getting told to your face, for all the people who have not proclaimed that they're a Moorish American, M-A-U-R, M-O-R-H, whatever, it doesn't matter, or you spell it or whatever, Moors. Stop the dumb stuff. If you haven't proclaimed it spiritually, divinely, or nationally, or both, you better figure out what you're doing. You better figure out what you're doing. And you better figure out quick. Because you weren't there when we were building the ark or whatever, the past 14 years. You know, I have every reason to debate Moors. All right, well, earthquake at your doorstep now. You talking BS about people over there? Earthquake to your doorstep. Usually tell you get ready before you made to get ready and all that stuff. You think he was playing around? You think divine warning is a joke? You got quick time to get on the side of righteousness. Stuff is at your doorstep now. They made up some fake stuff with the terrorists, whatever. The Mother Nature terrorists. Keep playing. Divine warning since the 20s told these people. Right. Divine warning from the 20s, they've been told. Still playing games? No problem. Honors to all the Moors out there who know that they're Moors, whether they're free in the outside jail or whether they're in the jail. All of you know that they're Moors. That your dumbass is debating Moors. Moors are alive in jail right now, getting knowledge of who they are. They're Moors, getting to hear the master teacher, because these people never let the stuff go in there. So honors to all the Moors who are really about this. And no matter what, you're putting them on notice at all times. It doesn't matter what they say. They can say whatever they want to say. What do you say? This is what this is about. This ain't about some pastor turning a doctor, turning a Moor. You never heard her say that she's El or Bay yet, ever. Ever. Then have the master teacher up there in the Adidas hat. Because he had to take the fez off because everybody's scared of the fez. He said it in this. Dropping all the jewels on people. People scared of fez. That's why I wear baseball hats, because these people are dumb. Telling them to their face, cussing them out. They aren't ready to see fezzes yet. You're not ready to see fezzes. These people are not even ready to see that they're not black. What the hell is a fez gonna do for them or whatever? Right? Because people are playing games. You have Moors out there, they're wearing their fezzes and their turbans, and it's only Europeans and foreigners running up to them talking about acknowledgement. And then people who look like them looking at them weird and not coming to ask questions, even though they got 500 questions and all that stuff, they're just gonna pass them more. And then talk about how come we can't. Don't worry, earthquake at your doorstep now. And see what you're gonna do. Keep playing around like you don't want to be on the side of righteousness. Keep playing around. You want to be pregnant, dancing up yourself like a jackass. Keep playing. It's on your doorstep. You better wake the hell up. Time's running out quick for you people. So honors to all the Moors out there who know that they're Moors and holding this thing together. All you Moors, you're a bolt, a screw, a pin, a something for this stuff, so the stuff doesn't completely crash. So you don't lose faith right now. Right now is even more for you to stay strong, for you to stay on what you've been on. You already know because you experienced it all to know what this is and that this is real. Nobody has to tell you that this is where it's at. Everybody who knows. Everybody who knows. You just keep knowing. You don't worry about anything anybody's telling you, anything they're trying to tell you, get you off of this and convince you what. No. Don't let them get you. Don't let them rope you into their BS. Right? Have your own mind. You think for yourself. Right? Thought for ourselves. Went to 7 locations. Some Moors even said, F registered mail. I'm going to drop this off to them. I already know. I got their address right here. Why am I sending them stuff in the mail? I'm going to drop this off to them. There's Moors that went there with 7 locations. And got the stuff accepted and all that stuff. And they said they're going to take it. Thank you very much and all that. Forget some registered mail. Moors said, I'm going to the spot to drop off my stuff. They're not going to play. I heard too much stories. They didn't get my mail and all that stuff. Work's been put in. Stop playing games. People just came yesterday. Or people who've been on this and they're still playing colors. You still play colored pills? You still playing colored? Stop this. You're still playing colored. You're not more pills yet? Joel Benjamin and all these people talking about the prophecy of the whatever, why the earthquake. Get the hell out of here. You people call the Fez a bucket hat and all that. Playing games. Been in this. You know how far it would be as people say that they're Moors? These people claim they're further people and all that stuff. But they're everything else except Moors. Black magic and all these people had a seer all up on their stuff, hitting them with the stuff. They're still Negro black colored. A seer been on there 5-6 times. You people still Negro black colored. And you didn't just start going to see a seer right now. You've been going to LIU and all that to go see a seer. And you people still playing Negro black colored? Stop this. You still playing African games and Indians? How much knowledge does you drop on you people? On your black platforms and all that. You people still playing? Stop. Stop. Don't debate Moors. Take your judgment right now. Don't debate Moors. You can't. All you people's stuff failed. Moors is it. All the whoever's, pedos, woman abusers, beat up their wife, all types of madness. Doing all types of madness with the birthright. Robbing people. Guillotine took 4 of them out. One time. So they want to play games with what this is about. Don't worry. And then don't let me forget too. Don't let me forget to also let you know, in case you missed it, that's supposed to be Rosmariah Bay sitting right there. And that's supposed to be Anid El sitting right there. And then Taj Street Bay sitting right there. That's what that's supposed to be. That's what that was supposed to be. But something happened that caused the split. And then she just jacked the energy. Right? Remember, because this just started kicking off before they left the National Theater. And they have to go to Delaware. Even Seven Heel Star was on the stage with these people. Misery even on the stage with people. Setting Rob Bay and all these people. How come she ain't brought them people up on the thing yet? Where they at? How come she's bringing Throat University people on the platform when she knows Miz and Settenra and them? She knows Moors. She knows Moors. She don't have to have Cujo on there. I can care less. But I know she knows Moors that she could have on her platform. Competent Moors. People are playing games. Jack the whole frequency. Because it was the mother supposed to be sitting up there. Because it was MHHS and Moore's Order of the Round Table. That's where Moors were going to get their info. Even other master teachers, that's where they were going to. That's who had it on lockdown with regard to the Moorish information. And also you're going to throw Moorish paradigm in there too. Right? And if it really stuck together, then you would also throw a seer in there, and then you throw Abdullah in there, and then you throw all the New York, you throw Azariah Bay in there. Because a lot of people know that they were Moors and they had nationality and all that, and it was a big crew. It was a big crew of Moors that was holding it down while everybody was playing Negro, black, whatever. Right? These people got, these Negro, black, whoever's got demolished by Alim Bey trying to debate Moors. And then because of the camp being able to figure this out and whatever like that, Moors like Brooklyn Intelligence. He was there too with the SETI debating Moors. Where are those Moors at? Like, look what happened to Sabir Bey. He was there debating SETI about the Moors, Fezes up and all that stuff. And all these people are incognito. They're incognito now. Playing games. Well, let's get back to the master teacher slapping these people.
That's to make it public, so that in its nature is a reversion.
So is it necessary to formally file public notice somewhere?
Well, you can.
Oh, before we even go yet. Oh yeah, somebody just brought it up in the chat. And Rare Bird, whoever, and all these frauds that they're just popping up with instead of just using the master teachers that are here. Why are you going out hand picking some dingbat to be the Moorish whatever? Right. It's pure fraud. That's why. It's just to get views because it's the master teacher. So people are gonna watch. Go check the other stuff. You know, this is what 7,020 hours. The other videos ain't getting no 7,020 hours. Guarantee you that. Right? Because the master teacher is not about reputation, he's gonna go on the platform. He don't care. It's about the people getting the info. That's it. That's why we give honors. Because regardless of what, you're gonna get slapped. Because Tashri Bey is not gonna be playing any games with you. You're gonna get the scolding. You're gonna get the go pick your whip. You better not be picking some skinny stuff either. Because if I have to go pick it, I'm gonna pick the rose bush. If we're gonna play whip you games. Math teacher doesn't play around. And I think people think, because he's just talking that he plays around. Right? It's just like the man who he knows he's a plumber. Right? You're standing over him talking about, well, yeah, why don't you put the thing right over there? Because if you put it over there, as if you know something about plumbing. Right? But people are bold-faced nowadays. You used to get your ass beat and then you humble yourself. You're not gonna keep going on. That's why I say the ADHD and all that stuff is BS. Because one good cut ass and all these used to straighten up quick. You stop playing around tomorrow, they get the whip 2 times. Well, that's the slavery of the whatever. Oh yeah? All right. Well, you see the conditions, right? Because you're playing slavery games, right? Okay. Once you see the conditions, because you're playing games.
And but my position is concerning that right now. Things have come so far, and they're so disrupted now that it's almost necessary for the people to come together, as you see some of them will come together and start becoming civically operative. And one of the few people that I see doing that is Brother Rod. You know,
stop the BS. Brother Rod, nothing. Brother Rod, what? Brother Rod, what? He's what? So you talk all this status this and status that and whatever. And if status is the first issue and all that, then
too much work for too much time, and he done been upright on the square every step of the way. Right? But because he don't say the dogmatic shit they want him to say or push the false agenda they want him to push, they want to launch out and attack him. They want to attack me because I tell a motherfucker I study under Taj, but I'm not a Moor. I study under C. Freeman Hill, but I'm not a Moor. I study Hakeem Bey, but I'm not a fucking Moor.
So if he's not a fucking Moor, how is Taj saying that he's the one that's doing good with bringing the people together when he's not a Moor? And the prerequisite for you to even bring people together and do something is that you be a Moor, because status is the first issue. So how is it that he's just talking about put 7 locations on notice and all that stuff, and then here comes some guy. He just came out, did how much ever years, and he came out, now he's the man. He's the man. And then there's people that's alleging that he tried to rape them and all types of madness, and this is the guy who Taj is saying is the one that we should be behind. These people. Really? And just like all the rest, all of them are going to fall on their sword, until the next wave pops up to try to play you some more.
And we even schooled her in the 80s or 6, seeing people infiltrate and start creating schism with that.
Yeah.
If you get the point. But that's part of the war activity. And so you present to the people, even see this right here.
This one right here.
And one of the few people that I see doing that is Brother Rod, getting the people in some kind of what you call structured order. And because that's by principle how you're supposed to come. It's necessary for the people to come together, as you see some of them will come together and start becoming civically operative. And one of the few people that I see doing that is Brother Rod,
Right. So yeah, we'll get more on this one. We got time. Brother Rod is the man, says Taj Tarik Bey. Now don't forget, Taj is the master teacher and all that stuff. But we don't dick ride Taj. Because he says so, that means that we're gonna be, because we're Taj dick riders. We're not those type of Moors. We're not those Moors. Right? We recognize him as a master teacher. It is not some personal whatever. He's our master teacher, and that's that. It's just that. It's just that simple. But there's no way that we're gonna sit here and not bring up this fact that Taj Tarik Bey is saying Rod Hayes is the guy right now. Rod Hayes that's where we should be looking at for unity. Something's wrong here. I know something's wrong here because we've already done our research on Rod Hayes and all these other people. And we already know that these people are all about themselves. They don't care about our people. We know they don't care about our people. Right? We know they're just out here for the fame and nobility. You know, the little sprinkles of fame and nobility left that these dirty Moors squandered. Right? Islam, brother Malik. We're not hearing you. Yeah, we're not hearing you. Yeah, just get back in. We're not riding with Rod Hayes is the man because Taj says so. We're not riding with that. That's BS. That's BS. We already seen people's rap sheet and all that. That's BS. Yeah, people can change, but not that fast. Not that fast. No way. There's no way you could change that fast. There's no way. Islam more.
Islam Grand Sheet.
What you said?
Islam to the Moors in the chat. Now, I got a couple questions, so don't go on mute, Grand Sheet. It's like a dialogue, more or less.
Yeah.
Like I put the question in the chat. Like, I don't think Taj really. Do you think Taj got a YouTube or social media?
Not even. Taj is he might be on there doing research or something, but he's not on social media and shit.
So like
he might be watching some videos or something like that, but he's not having no page and all that and whatever. No way.
Now, do you think Dr. G knows that? You think Rod Hayes knows that? You think all the side slick talkers who go on Dr. G's channel, the swallowing lady, you think they don't know the fact that Brother Taj is not watching these videos after? They know that. They know that. Like the other thing, like when he says that Rod is the one doing this, like we just said, he doesn't have a YouTube page. So do you think Dr. G is the one telling him, "Oh, Rod this, Rod that"? Rod is like she's the one big because he ain't.
I'm sure they've had conversations.
Right.
I'm sure they've interacted with each other on what level, I don't know. But
because where did that come from? Where did you get that from? Where that statement Brother Taj just said about Rod?
Yeah.
How did that just come about? What they do 1 or 2 lectures together? I don't see that being
qualifying him.
Right.
Yeah.
Like this seems planned. You know, the fact that he doesn't watch social media, he doesn't have an Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or whatever. He doesn't have none of that. So they can go behind and purposely cause confusion because we can use Taj to make them come watch, but then we can confusion behind Taj's back so he doesn't. Even though he smells something going on because he cusses them out right to their face. So he knows something going on.
That's what.
He knows something's going on.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. So you really don't have to watch to see what they're doing. As long as you just script to the foundation, which Taj always does.
Right.
It always makes them look stupid. Fall on their story. Like, y'all doing all of these things and making all these videos with Brother Taj for him to just shit on y'all. Like, and then y'all go make y'all just got off the thing with Taj. He killed y'all, and then y'all go make 3-4 month videos about y'all with Taj and we should be Indians and we don't call us, but y'all lying. Because if Taj seen the video, which that 5-6 hour video y'all make after that, and we show him like, yo, Taj, look what they do after you make the video with them. Look what they saying. Look what you think he gonna go up there and it's the same conversation or it's cuss out time? Because his track shows he cussing people out. And like he just proved to Dr. G, I could stay my ass at home and do this if I wanted to. So he told her, yo, your ass keep playing too. Like, I know that talk. That's that, oh, I know what your ass is doing too. I can stay my ass at home and get it. And you know that. And everybody watching know that. And everybody just be glued to Taj at home videos. And now Dr. G will be gone. Will be gone. There will be no more Dr. G. What y'all gonna watch? Taj gone. What y'all going? Go? She gonna keep bringing Rod on there? Anybody watching that? So that's why I just wanted to bring that out to show more the fact that I used to love saying agent and but these are just some evil people, man. These are just some evil, wrongdoing, like Freemasonic, Prince Hall, Eastern Star shit going on, man. Like they really don't want us to like look what they do. Like that, what they're doing right there is very like it's almost like molestation. Like, come on, man. You know that people are young-minded and you're using them. You're like you know that. Like, okay, it's not a lot of people like Canaanland Moors in their group and in their people. So we can just get all the newbies and trick them. That's the little
interjection. Pardon the interjection. I just wanted to say, not because people see the master teacher's face up there, think we're talking about him right now. We're not talking about him right now. We're talking about the people around him right now.
No,
we're talking about him.
I'm showing
just so because they're gonna clip stuff. They see, look how they talk about the master teacher or whatever. Don't try it. Yeah.
No, I didn't say nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't say nothing about Taj. I'm showing how they using Taj to trick people.
Right.
Like it ain't got Taj never changed the script. That's why I'm trying to show like he can say that about Rod Hayes because it sounds like a little manipulation going on. You know what I mean? This ain't just what we see it as. But if you knew, you wouldn't it would be confusion. Like, well, why Taj backing Rod? Because y'all don't know that they hiding them extra videos that they making about Moors. That Rod up there talking about I ain't no fucking Moor. Like, let Taj see that video. You think this is good? It's Dr. G's ass that's doing this. It ain't Taj. It's Dr. G. She doing this manipulation, causing confusion. Like Grand Sheik, like you said earlier, why she not bringing Set around here? Why she ain't bringing Miz on here? Why? It's plenty of Moors. It's plenty of Moors. She bringing up here Swallowing Lady and Rod Hayes. Why? Why? That I'm not, nothing about the master teacher. That's the master teacher. But y'all crazy. I ain't going against Taj at all. I'm showing like it looked like some theater movie shit going on with this being played out. Like, yo, is this a movie? This ain't this. But like, if you came in early, you would be good. You would see this like, oh man, look, this is a mess. This is a mess. But you still can get your studying because you're groomed in. But when you're new and you're seeing this, it's a mind fuck. And that's Dr. G's fault. She doing that. That's her Eastern Star manipulation she doing. That's her. That's her doing this. Her. Islam Morris, I yield the floor.
Islam, Brother Malik, Islam, American Scrolls, and Thomas L.
Islam, Grand Sheik, Islam, Brother Yusuf, and the rest of the Moors.
Islam.
Honest to the Moors. Peace to the Moors. Honest to the Prophet. Peace and love. Yeah, man. I just came.
I'll let Malik go and then American Scrolls since they were waiting. Islam, Malik.
Islam, Grand Sheik. Yeah, man. Like I was watching it last night too. As like Brother Yusef was saying, he basically was telling her to her face, like, man, stop making excuses for these sellouts. You know what I'm saying? Like he already know that she's probably a agent or that they belong to these clubs. But like Taj let it be known all the time. I don't care what y'all about. My job is to get the information out. So the whole time they think they manipulating the master teacher, he using a platforms to get the information out. Like I tell people, anytime Taj go live on there, look at the views. Nobody that she brought on there has more views than when the master teacher gone there. And that's not just Asiatics watching it. That's like all around the world watching the master teacher dispense information. So he already know that these people around him are dirty, but his duty is, all right, let me get the information out as much as I can before they pull something. Because like Brother Yusef said, and eventually Dr. G gonna be gone. Taj can really sit at home and do it, but he know that all right, everybody want to run to this channel to support these Masons and Eastern Stars. So let me go on their platform. That's why he said it before when he and sitting right next to her, he said, I went down into the pit. I took on like the work to go down to the pit and do the dirty work. So he already know all these people around him dirty. He just using their platforms to get the information out. You know what I'm saying? So like we saying we already know the master teacher not dirty. It's the people around them trying this manipulation, playing that schism game. Cause I'm like, you've been around the master teacher for almost 20 years. And it be at times when he teaching, you still act like certain stuff that's like he said redundant, and then she done said redundant, like you still don't know what it is, or you still trying to make excuses for certain things. And that's why he was getting, you can see it, he was getting frustrated last night. And she was like, yeah, he get mad because he already know you full of crap. And he telling the world, they don't think that he's talking about them. They think he talking about other people. He talking about them that's sitting around him too. Like, y'all are sellouts. Like, y'all keep making all these excuses. But I yield the floor on that. I'll come back in a few.
Islam American Scrolls.
Islam and all honor a camelback off of Brother Malik, because I stopped watching that a long time ago. I only see clips when Cujo posts something because it triggers me, because she does play that blind, deaf, and dumb role. And they actually are both playing roles, by the way, for those of you that are on that type of degree. So when you are looking at someone that has, I don't even know, I don't want to say like genius statecraft, like people that are like, when you see the politicians on television, when they're smiling and shaking hands and taking photos, you don't know what they're saying below their breaths, or how they're arguing and cussing each other out in the back room, or how they're smiling and doing, like verbal jujitsu. So like the art of statecraft requires patience and strategy. And a lot of Moors are not competent enough or brilliant enough to pull off sitting next to someone who is your enemy, and they don't know that you know that, or vice versa. So like strategically, I'm like, I know, because he's spoken several times about doing his work. And that is probably, I don't know, a handful of Moors that might be able to have that type of patience and ability. And I always talk about it for those people. When you're around certain people, particularly elders, they have that ability of shutting you down, and they don't have to raise their voice. They don't have to use inappropriate language. But we can see now over the years, like those of you that have been in this for a while, the old Taj videos, he never used a curse word at all. Taj been cussing for the last, like, I'll say about 7 to 10 years. He has been extremely frustrated. So I acknowledge that whatever he's doing to get on these platforms is necessary in order to change or counter whatever that narrative is. And it is spiritual warfare. And for him to be able to sit in that seat, and Cujo was right on point with talking about the transition from the theater. Because I think the first time I was there was 2014, and I can't remember if it was 17 or 18 when they said they were going to demolish it or start rebuilding it or whatever that excuse was. But to be in that space, I think I was there a couple of times. I can't imagine what it was like in like 2010, 2011. You know what I'm saying? So for that jacking of the energy and whatever that schism was to take that energy, because when we were there, you would go, I don't know, 10 or 11 in the morning, and you would leave almost at like we would be there 12, 13 hours because nobody wants to leave because of all the information that you're getting. So I do acknowledge that he is wise enough to use to whatever the shout out or acknowledgement to Rod was, because I was like, okay, he obviously knows what he's doing. I'm not even challenging that that's the issue, but for him to sit next to her and for her to not, I don't know, and I think honestly that she's obviously playing a role, because there's no way that she doesn't pretend like she doesn't know 90% of the stuff that he has said 1,000 times to her. So I think that when you're watching it, for me, I look at it like it's a battle, like it's a spiritual, it's like a divine spiritual battle. And when we're looking at that type of energy and the type of time and just the amount of time that he has to spend combating, because on I don't know, these 4 or 5 different so-called Indian platforms, he's typically the only Moor on there. And I think the last couple ones that I saw, because I wouldn't have known about these pages, you know, Rod Hayes says what he does, but I mean, those of us that have the site, you can see that there's obviously something wrong with his spirit. Like, he doesn't seem legitimate at all. And so for the Moors, and I think Brother Yusuf said this, anytime that somebody's coming in new, it's going to be something that's going to be something for them to fall prey or victim of. But we have to let them have that lesson. Because coming in, I was watching old DVDs before a lot of stuff was on YouTube, and you saw stories, you heard stories of people giving, you know, 5 and 10,000 to these dirty Moors back then. So for people coming in and you don't have the eyes to see or the ears to hear, there's always going to be something that's going to be there for you to fall a trap in. So that's a part of our spiritual growth and development. So when I look at it, I think that it's brilliant for him and the talent and abilities that he has to sit in those lions dens, to sit there and be the only Moor and have to defend. And most of the time when you see it, nobody's really coming at him because they can't. And so we have to have that truth. And it almost goes to the book and the film, The Spook That Sat by the Door. Oftentimes as Moors, we are not conscious of certain allies that we might have that we can't see. And that's why it's like in Kemet, they brought, or at least we can prove that it was at least in Kemet, but the idea of the unseen having just as much as importance as the seen. So for those people that are only social media one dimension people, you know, where you think that something that is, you know, distorted or can be filtered is actual reality, then these things are going to be easy for you to fall in and get confused. But those people that have a firm foundation, and you get the prophecies and statements, you get the literature, you get your Circle 7, and you have a foundation, it's still going to be challenging, but it's not going to be as easy for you to step into those spaces. So we really have to make sure that those of you that are getting into this, that it's not for any reward. It's not for some mundane financial or fame and nobility. This is not what, at least for me, it's not for that. And I think as we see his demonstrations, because he's had a couple of these situations throughout the years where he's had these affiliations, and I'm looking at it like, well, man, he's better than me to be able to sit there and not, chop off some of these heads. But you have to have people that have that kind of strategic patience and spiritual foundation to be able to keep it's like a whack-a-mole, keep beating them upside the head, and they don't even know what it is that's hitting them upside the head. So honors to Taj for continually doing the work that I don't know who would be able to keep doing that. And then, like we said, this is not like a long lasting thing. At some point that's also going to fall by the wayside, because everything has its time and its season. So it will manifest, and we give honors for him to keep whack-a-mole in these whatever so-called colorable de facto statuses that these people continue to adhere to because of their I don't know what it is. And I guess, Noble Drew Ali said that we are who our ancient foremothers and forefathers are. So with that, I yield the floor. Islam.
Islam, Thomas L.
Indeed, indeed. Peace, gratitude, peace to the family. Honor to Noble Drew Ali, prophet and divine pair of our divine creed. Yeah, y'all, peace. I was in that chat yesterday, and I kind of been in the back. I kind of been touring it for a little while. I was following it for a minute, but now I'm just, peace with Allah right now. And I've been studying, and I understand exactly what you're saying, American Scrolls, because I can see it as well, and I'm pretty sure we all can see it. It's just to the fact that we're waiting to see the curtain drop, and I think it's slowly dropping. And there was certain things that I noticed too about that interview that kind of struck those thoughts to carry. And I do agree with a lot of that. But me myself, I think a lot of that struck. I was in the chat going in on, pardon self, but I was kind of going in on the brother on the dirty aspect, and due to the fact that it is, and I think Taj is allowing this to go on. It's kind of like a hangman situation, if you look at it, sort of say, to see, for us to sharpen skill and take notice of what's going on, and then take a position in it and hold a stand. And I'm willing to do that as well. And I know I'm come pretty to myself, but now I think it's time I come across enough information to where I think I, as a Moor, can make a stand in my position. And I would like to drop some real information to the family, if also to help with that issue. And I think it is time for us, well, especially me, people, to take a stand in this and really hold this where it's supposed to be. And Cujo was just saying it earlier. He said, "Hey, you Moors, y'all, the screws and nuts to the ship. You might not be a part of the. I get what you were saying. You might be on the wheel or steering the wheel, but we still got to hold this thing together." And he's totally right. And we're starting to see the frivolous information being flooded and people being misled with terms that are supposed to lead you in the righteous way and being used to lead people to a path of destruction, and to understand that it's a sign to see. And for me, coming across this more information and coming to I would say a more of an understanding of what I had prior to what the information I come through the last few years after I spoke. I don't know if Cujo remember, but I spoke to Cujo before, like in 2017, and like I was in it for like maybe 7 or 8 years. So I proclaimed in 13, and I was listening for like 2 years, just getting on it. And I heard it before from my father briefly, but he didn't really go in detail about it. And it went on, and I kind of, now I'm at a point to where I see it fully, and my response is, when you come across the information of our lineages and our mothers and our fathers, and that representation of the republic, and the matriarch of that's the true matriarch in us, understanding that we are representatives of all of our tens of thousands of ancestors. Truly, I come across certain information that allowed me to open up certain family records to actually show proof in detail to our situation, certain like facts, to where now I could certain places that have most of our lineage records. They just through family search. It's an organization called Family Search that holds most of our records through the Mormon Temple. But I'm gonna skip past that. But back to what I'm saying. I found out, a lot of my ancestors. I was able to pull a lot of the lineage up and tie myself back in. And as I search through the family names, you see Moors, but their surnames or their surname, but they have title MORs, and they have land here today. And I could pinpoint some of the land here today and some of the heirs who are actually functioning out of the status and still doing business with the foreigner. Just like for hence Black Beach, the Bruce family, those Bruces tie into me as well, but back into a Moor called, his surname is Moor de Blohan. And he served Bruce, and then down through Bruce, they came here with the McAlpines, who also comes from Kenneth McAlpine, who was a Moor through the McAlpines, Moor de McAlpine. You see all of these people come into inheritance here with the surnames here. And for that information to be violently expressed would be dire to our situation, because people who are coming across the information and misleading people into corporate item titles and placing those as inheritance titles are leading us in the complete direction of doom. So I was in that chat, and I was pretty much calling him dirty in complete time, because for one, we know as Moors, Drew Ali said, don't call our brothers who still identify as Negro, Black, and colored dirty Negro, the N-word, call them dirty Moors, right? As Moors being conscious and free of mind and redeemed, right? We know that as fact. But for him to claim to be more, and I was going in on that, and I was saying, and then I think that, bro, because I see Ty when you said this, when I was in the chat, I know Ty's be looking at the chat, and when I started typing all this stuff, he put his head down. I said, "Oh, why he put his head down?" I said, "Oh, okay, I see what's up," and I pursued it, and therein I seen this morning all this crazy talk about what's going on. I'm not saying it was mainly, but it was a big conversation going on in that chat. But the truth of the matter is, once we really put the work in and find those 18, 20 grandparents, there's a website through Family Search. I'm on .org or .com where you are, and it's through the Mormon Temple, and they have a partnership with Roots Tech, BYU, Cambridge, I think Howard, and they have a lot of the Harvard. They have a lot of the birth records still online, and they have like a whole database that'll run you back past 25 BC. So I could run into I could sort of some so-called, well, people call them Ramses, but in there they got them Usher Murder Member Ramses III. And they also have things like this guy right here. This is in my PTR. This is Woden. Woden, I cannot say his last name, but he's supposed to be the Nordic king that fathered Theorus, but they call him Thor, right? So they show our records, they know our records, but they allow the foolishness to go on. So the fire burnt in me to come up and kind of explain certain points to where we could have a broader point of view to really see it will fall. This whatever this broad haze thing, these people will come down, because when the people actually understand and actually do the work and find the lineage, you're going to run into all of these houses, and then you're going to run into a lot of other things if you actually get to do it. But you have to understand that you could do it. So we could all do it. And to understand that, for me, I know it's time to come up. I don't want to take too much of the floor, but I kind of want to say that right there. And yeah, I'm gonna leave that right there. Peace and love to the floor. And I understand kind of like what's going on, and I know I know it's a lot more. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Peace to the room.
Peace. Islam lover. You gotta unmute, Lovell Islam.
Can you hear me, Islam?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Praise Allah. All praise are due to Allah, the Lord, Governor, Cherisher, Sustainer of the worlds. I give all, I reserve all honors due to all true and divine prophets, Yahshua, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, Drew Ali. I'd like to give honors to this platform, the Moorish staff, the Supreme staff. Islam, brother, honors to you and your platform.
Islam.
Islam, more?
Islam, brother, how you doing?
That the more? Peace, boy.
Yes, sir. This is
Peace,
it.
beloved. People that love L, peace, boy.
Yes, sir, brother. Islam. Yeah, truly, Allah is the greatest. And what we have been doing is we've been putting things on the record, and we have been basically shaking the foundations of this demonstration, breaking the Roman seal. We've been putting the work out there. We've been members for over for 30 years. We joined back in 1994. Our whole family is members. My mother, she's the Grand Sheikah. She's actually my assistant. All right. And so she's been helping me and assisting me with a lot of this work. As a matter of fact, we went on the record and filed at Cook County. We've actually been active for well over 20 years, the body politic. Okay, the Moorish Science Temple of America as a body politic. And we went to court. We have the receipts to prove that we went to court back in July 25th, 2017. We went on the record as the body politic officially. So, I mean, I guess we beat the wave as far as everybody, because then after that, we noticed everybody wants to refer to themselves as a body politic. Body politic here, body politic there. And the only thing that we did was just follow the instructions of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali to the letter, right? And we give honors to all of those that have sacrificed their time and their energy on behalf of the people, the Moors. And this is the biggest, one of the greatest secrets, the fact that when you proclaim your nationality, you have the certain status that's afforded to you. And that includes diplomatic immunity. I have set it up and where I actually I've been advertising this online. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali actually prophesies that the nationality card will change on you in your pocket, right? So it's almost like now, when we proclaimed our nationality, the process entailed getting a birth certificate and switching that over. So when you go through the state of, for example, I dwell in within the state of Illinois, all right? But as we understand it, once you get that passport card, that removes you from the jurisdiction of the state or, you know, any, so that means that you have to deal with the Fed. So understanding the process to get your get the state judgment first in the state courts, and then to get your passport card. And then, you know, once you get that, that pretty much puts you off of the radar. So that means that they don't have any jurisdiction, because when you see that card, is actually, it lists your state of birth, but that's as far as it goes as far as the address. So we're supposed to be demonstrating with diplomatic immunity. That means that that's part of the issue that's being blocked off by the dirty Moors. You see what I'm saying? And their job is to keep you off the path. So they put, and sometimes, you know, our elders, they will unwittingly work in concert with that. So they'll be utilized and not even knowing that they're being used, you know. But all praise is due to Allah. He blessed this administration to put the Moors on the map. So we made the sacrifices. That's part of the reason why when you look at my avatar, you see that we've been doing exactly that work. We've been producing the literature. So I'm the author of Birthright War, Soldier Without a Foe Never Knows His Strength. And we've been out here dropping these receipts, you know, for decades now. For decades. But we've been doing it without a salary. We've been doing, Allah has blessed us to go on CAN TV. And a lot of Moors, what they do is they'll see our videos and don't acknowledge it. They don't give us honest. They don't send us any bread, any finance. and they know it takes finance to uplift a nation. But we've been doing this work. Okay, we were the ones to go to the state of, and we went and we filed as a, I'm an Abraham Lincoln type of lawyer. So I'm well addressed with how the court system work. I've literally turned the 29th floor to my office. Yes, sir. Please.
Interjection. So how come nobody on here ever heard of you before?
Oh, that's the thing. I'm the best kept secret.
What do you mean?
About me. They'll watch my videos. They'll hear about me, and then just check out my videos. I've been out there. Like I say, I got 30 years to the game. You see what I'm saying?
I thought it was 20 though. You just said 20. I thought it was 20 years.
Well, I've been a member for 30 years.
Oh.
I joined back in 1994 under the administration of P. Davis Hill. But see, what I realized that I'm with the COINTELPRO demonstration. I recognized how they was moving in my temple. So I recall everything that occurred. I went through the Adept Chamber back in 1997. I am part of the reason why the conventions got started. They started doing the conventions back in October instead of September. It was because of the receipts that this administration dropped that became a fact. So we've been putting in heavy work for all this time. We just been behind the scenes just watching. Because we understand that Allah is the one that's guiding this demonstration. It's not us. It ain't personal. I'm just playing my role, playing my part. Right now, I'm in the process of grooming my nephew to be the next Grand Sheikh. His name is Prince Ali. He was born with that name. We got 3 generations that's representing.
Well,
how is the first family. Yes, sir.
How was he born with that name? If you're not,
he was born with that name because his mother was conscious at the time. She was a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America under my administration.
But why would she name the child Ali if Drew Ali said, "Don't name your children Ali"?
Well, she wasn't aware of that prophecy, brother. She named him, and the name came to her. It was like she heard the name in her consciousness, and and within her, with her higher self. And the similar thing occurred with my daughter. She was also named Ali, and her mother was never a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America.
But how they get the name Ali then? Because it's not about the prophecy. It's about the fact that our prophet's name is Ali. So why would you think to name your child that, even without the prophecy?
This is like this. First of all, she was named after me, Love Ill, and I had no problem with it. She said she heard the name Zamora as her first name, so it's like she heard the name. She's like, it was like the baby named herself. Okay, and this is a woman that was not a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And so this is what I mean. This is this demonstration is done for the babies, the young and unborn.
But if she wasn't a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America, or having anything to do with the Moorish paradigm, and named her child Ali, then that has nothing to do with the Moorish paradigm like that. That you're trying to tie it to it to give it. Like I don't get how the Ali is justified. Like I see if the individual,
and they were born with that name. You see what I'm saying? That's the whole point. When
you say born with that name, somebody named them, or like, what do you mean born with that name? That's what I'm trying to get. Like, what do you mean born with it?
The mother. It was the sister. It was now my sister. She's no longer. She doesn't consider herself. And this is part of the COINTELPRO tactics to get our people to not honor the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. You see what I'm saying? She used to be a member, but now she no longer associates herself with the temple.
But why is that?
Why is that? because she lost faith in the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. My
And why she
family has
lose?
been
Why she?
divided. My family has been divided because there's what it is COINTELPRO. What they do is they isolate the people that really know the truth about who they are and where they come from, and they cut them off. They go and tell the families, "Hey, don't associate with this guy. You know, he's a terrorist." If you remember Morpheus, how that the Matrix unfolded, they was after him, Morpheus, like he was a terrorist. You know, the police came, you know, woo woo woo, just swooping in on him, and you never understood why they was turned up dial 9, 10 to find this guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's a terrorist. You know, this is the tactics that they do, and this is the length that they're willing to go to distract and to try to um, take control of the Moorish situation. Pretty much like how they deal with they designate this sovereign citizen. They use that moniker to try to associate all conscious Moors as sovereign citizens, and that's just a buzzword. You know what I'm saying? To turn us against each other, to make it seem as if we're crazy. You see what I'm saying? We're crazy for believing that the prophet came and he dropped all this science. We're crazy for believing that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali set us up with a trust. And so they'll do everything in their power to try to distract and dissuade the masses from understanding business and being ready and capable of taking charge of the Moorish situation and doing exactly what the elders be suggesting. It's time to stand up. That's part of the reason why I wrote the book, Birthright War. A soldier without a foe never knows his strength, because you have to have the mentality that you're already dead already. You have to have that mentality that Allah is in control at all times, 24/7. You see what I'm saying? We're supposed to be striving to be in our higher self. You see? And that's what's wrong. You see, you got too many fake Moors out here. They don't understand what the saving power represents. So a lot of these ones, they will hide in plain, they'll hide out, you know, like with dirt on their head. You know, these ex-cons, these prisoners, and these people that don't have any interest in us coming up as a nation. You know, they hide out, you see, and they hide out in the conscious community. This is why it's been so hard for this thing to be conveyed. But the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, all praise due to Allah, he is the best planner. And so we're in divine time. He said that the third and fourth generations will see the good of his works. And I believe we're right on schedule. Islam?
Islam more.
Islam.
Getting the people in some kind of what you call structured order. And because that's by principle how you're supposed to come. You know, but if people don't know the history and don't know the obligations, you can't invoke. It's not that you can't invoke. The people have been invoking. They've been making the moral and ethical argument. And while that's valid, that's not what you call the argument. The argument is to exercise what you call the consular venue, because the consular venue is for diversity and for treaty. And this is why you're seeing us always push that. And then you're seeing people infiltrate and start creating schism with that.
Yeah.
If you get the point. But that's part of the war activity. And so you present to the people, see this right here?
This one right here.
That came from the Southern Poverty law firm. That's a misrepresentation, totally misrepresentation.
Yeah, I saw where somebody.
No, but I'm just saying, you'll see people even arguing that, but they don't even know that that's origin. They'll be thinking that some Moors are saying that's an oxymoron.
Yeah.
But most people don't know it's a war act, if you get the point.
So she said her a Grand Sheik federal judge just told me I'm part of a Moorish sovereign citizen group. I got to respond by April 18th. They're crazy.
Because
that's the Southern Poverty.
He said that you are. Did you say that? Mm-hmm. You see how the semantic deceit?
Mm-hmm.
That's a conversion. Because that's an oxymoron. See, but if someone doesn't know, they'll fall for the trap. And then you want to argue that when that's not your argument. You would say, to that magistrate, don't slander me. are you a constitutional officer to even question my position?
And even before that, before you even went into that court, did you send paperwork letting them know that you're not sovereign citizen and all that? Which I bet they didn't. Which I bet they had some date and they just walked in there talking about they're going to talk this more stuff because they watched some video. And they didn't send any writs in, because in 2024, if you're having any dealings with anybody who's a foreigner here, you better be putting in your stuff that you're not a sovereign citizen, because that's where they're going to go as soon as they get your papers. That's where they're going to go. If you don't say you're not that, just like you don't say, if you don't say you're not black, what they're going to do? Assume jurisdiction. And now you're black. And like they're saying, oxymoron.
Islam Cujo?
Islam.
Just wanted to interject here. So for the people that are listening, this is why you have to actually have study tools. You have to take time. You actually have to be strategic and actually put in the work. If you are even aware or even arrogant enough to even try to stand in that position to try to defend yourself, there's ways to do it where you don't even have to talk about your nationality and birthright. It takes time for you to know what you're doing. And too many people are always trying to come in and get this instant response, this instant gratification. And you guys have to stop doing that. And you have too many people wanting to get fame and nobility, too many people coming in, scattering the flock under the guise of that they're this next thing or they're the whatever. It's not about you. It's about the divine and national movement. So when you are competent, you already know how to counter that and talk about that you are a part of a sovereign people and you have a right to a nationality and a birthright. So we got to study more, talk less, and actually take some time to understand what we got ourselves into before we declared and proclaimed our nationality, Islam.
Islam, mother.
Islam, brother Malik.
Yeah, just to camelback off what the mother was saying, and no disrespect to the previous more that was speaking, but like when people use that term of grand body, I don't think people like study what that means, because the grand body is the whole nation. The grand body is all of us collectively proclaiming nationality, moving in unison. That's what makes us a grand body. It's not just a specific territory, because the grand body has been dismantled after they killed the prophet. The grand body has been scattered. So the only way that the grand body can be reformed is if the whole nation come together again, which you got too many Moors that are divided with territory, with templalism, with clubism. Some Moors are Masons, mixing that in with it. Some Moors are dogmatic teacher, mixing that in, and then this package selling, they using the pimp and the hustling game with this Moorish information, like the mother was saying, to gain fame and nobility. Don't realize that by you teaching the truth, by you having pureness in your heart, it's gonna bring you that fame and nobility, because you're doing something different that's different from the norm. And when everybody is teaching lies, you telling the truth. And not only are you teaching it, you can prove it with reference points, with those documented facts in the literature of the prophet, showing from people that keep teaching the prophet or talking about the prophet in a dogmatic way, like some religious leader, which I tell people all the time, he wasn't a religious leader. He was a humanitarian. He was a civic leader. He was about civilization, that's why he was a universal prophet, because all civilization came under and came from Moorish civilization. They came from Moorish rule. Every law, every conduct of life is Moorish science, which is life science. I always tell people more science is life science. Any type of form of life, any type of information of life is more science. And I just wanted to put that piece in right quick. So I yield the floor again, Grand Sheik.
Peace. That was deep. And it's to count back that Islam to the floor. I agree with all of that. You know, I'm pretty sure we all do. And I think that's the whole thing, that the clan thing, the L and Bags. When we start to trace back our lineage, we see where we unite off of default. There is no running from it. And like, I know the certain spirit, like, always, like me myself, like in life, I attempt to be like in the middle, not in the middle, but like, I would say like a negotiator in between two conflicts. If you always felt yourself in a situation to where two people come to you about what's going on between them, like that happens to me a lot. And I think through family spirit that goes on. And if it happens to you, I think maybe that's your family that you just spiritually connected to that we're not taking notice to in the physical. But what I'm saying is, when we go back 10, 15 generations, 16 generations, you start to see where we really are family. And I was noticing Brother Aleem Bake dropped the video the other day when he was speaking on his DNA connections with the Prophet. And I was like, that's crazy, because, you know, they're doing certain sites like that. It's a site too, a family tree DNA. They're really good. They Brother Aleem he said some good ones on his site. You go check out Brother Aleem videos. Brother Aleem El Bay, he had put out some pretty good DNA sites. But that's the truth of it. You know, when we come back together and we know who's who and who's big cousin and what's up cousin, and that's my third, fourth, all of this stuff, that's the truth. And we all know we're Moors, and us as Moors, knowing that and holding that lineage, and when they come into it, they find related to us, everything comes together in unity. And then we get to help structure that divine house and that body of that families, or body of clans rather than tribes, and those people back together. I think that's where we gotta. That's where I find myself today. And, you know, I could probably find where I'm related to you. I could probably through a surname or even DNA test, like everybody on this stage. You know, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th cousins. So when we see it more like that, I think that's the true unity Drew was talking about. Peace to the floor. Islam.
Peace.
Moorish people of the land, to whom you have obligation, Article 3, Section 2, and Article 6. What you talking about, Willis? See, they don't know how to answer because they don't know the history. This is back to why this stuff is redundant, because they allowed them to create a narrative that's not the truth. And if you start trying to defend a lie, they will recognize that you don't understand your status. And this is back to people thinking or assuming that because they know that they're the people of the land, that's sufficient.
Islam to that.
Big drop. Islam.
Right. That's not sufficient. What is your nationality? Is the bottom line. Do you have a nationality or don't you? If you don't, you're in trouble. It's that simple, that easy. It's that easy.
Too easy. Hey, Brother Coons, hey, tell me, why do people claim to be Aboriginal, right, and say that they don't believe in nationality and nations when the determined meaning of Aboriginal means First Nations people? So if you're the Aboriginal, you have to be the founder or the First Nation or the first people of that nation, meaning, you know, the founder of that nation. How could you be that and not believe in nations and nationality and only tribalism? It makes no sense.
That's how you know they're a fraud. You know, that's how you know that they're here for confusion. Because nationality is will forever be the order of the day with our people. Because they don't wanna accept the fact. You know, they want everybody else to be the man except Honor and Noble Drew Ali and what he presented. You know, he told us that we're not Negro black colored. So do you think you could put Asiatic on black and that makes black suitable?
Right.
That makes black sufficient? No, it doesn't. You just created another fraud again.
Right. I think that's why he's getting frustrated, because you're claiming to be Aboriginal, but you don't believe in nations and nationality, and you claim you come from a tribe, but you're Aboriginal? No wonder he keeps saying the people look at our people like they are crazy. Because if you understood what you were saying, you would see how crazy you are.
No, they
Sounding.
won't. They won't see that. Islam. They won't see that
Yep.
because
Islam.
it comes down to the counter. That's why we have to have that kind of polarity. So we have the all is mine. We also have polarity. So you should have to expect opposition. You are supposed to see that there is offense and defense. So we have to stop assuming that we're not unified because it's hard. You're more buckle up, put your big boy pants
Islam.
on, your big girl pantaloons on, and let's keep it moving. It's not supposed to be easy. And we have to be wary of the people that come in on some promotion. It's not a commercial. So what I said earlier, when there is a claim made, you have to counter the claim. Okay, duh, we already know that. So you can live your life according to the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. You could come in with your turban affairs and still have your nom de guerre and still carry yourself in that way. So we have to be smarter than the average bear. And I think we have to stop assuming that because it's difficult, that somehow that doesn't mean that we're not unified, or somehow that it's always somebody else. No, this is a part of the challenge. This is a part of the honor. This is a part of the obligation that we have when you proclaimed and declared that you were more. You put yourself up for this fight, and you better get to conditioning, and you better get to practice to make sure that you have your time in so that you're able to handle and pass the torch or pass the baton. So stop expecting it to be easy, and stop expecting it to be somehow we're not supposed to have a challenge or opposition. You're saying that you're more, you better do more studies, because you look like a you look like a rookie coming in. We got to do better. Islam, I yield the floor.
Islam.
Because you're going to be challenged. Why? You're under occupation. And so the people don't know that you don't let them put the burden on you, and you don't let them claim you to be something that you're not. And you don't accept the nom de guerre that they created, although we've been called that, because that gives them jurisdiction, which is part of what I'm showing you. But if you don't know that, you fall into the trap of arguing it. Which indicates that you don't let them put the burden on you, and you don't let them claim you to be something that you're not. And you don't accept the nom de guerre that they created, although we've been called that, because that gives them jurisdiction, which is part of what I'm showing you. But if you don't know that, you fall into the trap of arguing it. Which indicates acquiescence, or what you call incompetence.
Well, when we were in the process of obviously in the process, not what us, but studying what you wanted me to, to look into. As I told you, I came across information which I kind of changed your title, but that dealt with this, the DC Compensated Emancipation Act of 1862, which is I mistook for what you were talking about, but still it was good information.
Yeah.
To find out, that, well, first of all, of course, DC became the capital in 1791, but by 1862,
and that's part of it. That's part of the history,
right? So by 1862,
they created the person,
right? But also this act that happened in 1862 predated the Emancipation Proclamation that we know of, allegedly.
That's why that was one, right? Act of Congress, 1871, said misprision, right? Derived foreign feudal law entity born of treason was styled as the United States corporation company. How long have we been giving this stuff to people? Forever. Forever. And they get bored. And that's the answer to setting themselves straight, to have an argument, to make the argument, to even make the argument. It's established law. Oh, that's that Morris stuff. And we ain't into that because I don't feel as though what you feel is irrelevant. What do you know? Because they're going to deal with what you know. Now, you can come with them, they're feeling all day long. Guess what they're going, which they always do, lock you up and do things and stuff and see how far if you're willing to stand on truth. And if they can get you to make some other argument, you will be there. And this is what they've been doing. This is why whenever someone starts enforcing the law, they will start attacking them, because what? You're attacking the de facto, which means what? You have impersonators in the seats of power. So look. So this letter, the civil orders, right? Posted on in 2015, although it was issued in 14, right? Then it talks about Nasara, and there's Obama talking with the Pope. And then at the end, the close of the letter, the attorney says what? Attachments. Civil order, Anna Maria Wilhelmina, Anna Sophia Ritzinger, Van Ritzenstein, Van Letlow, Verbeck, private attorney in
Private attorney, nothing. She's just some modern European that realized that these people took away their republic and they want their republic back and all that stuff, and they're standing up for that. They know popes anything. These are the same people. These are the same ones who brought you the series, the Meet Your Straw Man and all that. People running around with this, that they got something. These are the same people. The same people who did the civil orders. That they're telling you some judge whatever and Obama and the Pope and all that stuff. This is Maine common law jury. They were Maine. Brunswick, Maine. No Vatican letter. They don't Pope and anything like that. These are modern Europeans. They weren't lying though. They were letting you know the same stuff Moore's been telling you 100 years. But their real problem is that they just don't want to go home. They want to stay here. They want to be foreigners and then call other foreigners in violation of something. And then talking about admiralty and maritime jurisdictions and all this stuff, and states and sovereign states and nations and talking all these fictions. Just to not stick to the point. What's your nationality? Yeah, we're American. No, you're not. We get jurisdiction to put out civil orders. And if we're civic, what are you doing with civil orders? You're part of the civilians? I thought you're a national. And then how come they're only talking about unified Maine common law grand jury? Who's that? I mean, look them up. Nothing's coming up with them. These are the distractions to get you away from what Noble Drew Ali brought you. Because people take this and then they run with it as if it's some type of lawful whatever. No, it's not. This is a writ from some modern Europeans. They're foreigners. You think some Europeans who are occupying, you think they're gonna get this in the mail and deal with it over dealing with more stuff? They throw both of them in the trash to keep their fraud going. But these are the same people. Some foreigners that broke away from the foreigners who came over here, raped, pillaged, robbed, and all that stuff. And then now they're mad because, well, that's not how we were brought up and all that stuff. And now they're over here and they're talking about common law jurisdiction. No, this is still indigenous land. Where you trying? You better have something with some indigenous Moors around here to have some jurisdiction. You can't just run after everything. There's people who they have name correction and all that stuff. And then this came out, and then they took this and ran with this over their proclamation papers. Because they thought this was some Pope secretary that's mad with the system and wrote some writ from the Pope lawyer floor. What are you doing in America is your question, because according to, it's supposed to be the Vatican. That's the jurisdiction. What you doing over here? Chilling in Maine. Sounds like the same colonial activity to me.
And just to interject, in Vatican City, you very rarely see too many women employed. So that should be a clue that she's not legit. I yield the floor, Islam.
Yes, it reads good. The language they're exposing. These people are foreigners too. Yes, they're exposing. Do they have allegiance to the Moors, or are they on some save themselves campaign? Because they don't want to get tied to the people who are racist, killing niggers. Well, you look like the same people. And if I check your name, I'm pretty sure you're not indigenous to this side. But this is what they get because they were supposed to have been, paying their taxes like good Europeans to the indigenous people. They were supposed to be taking advantage of them. They weren't supposed to be killing the lakes and killing the animals and killing everything else that's around here. They weren't supposed to be doing any of that. But they did. And now guess who's paying for it? It's not going to be them. Because remember, they stole your birthright. So they were saying that they're white people for so long. So they raped your birthright under that. When that ran out, then they create some whatever, make you stay in the house so they could rape the resources. And when that ran out, figure out how to get the babies. And when that ran out, and they're going to keep eating. Because our people want to stay food. And they want to debate Moors. And anybody else say anything, they're going to chase after it to the high heavens. As soon as Moors start talking about stuff, now nobody has anything to say. As soon as Moors start talking. As soon as Moors start talking, now they don't want to quote. Let's get this last little bit from the master teacher. slapping these people.
And you know, we even schooled her in the 80s, and that's why that she became. I'm gonna deal with what you know. Now you can come with them their feeling all day long. And guess what they're going, which they always do, lock you up and do things and stuff, and see how far you, if you're willing to stand on truth. And if they can get you to make some other argument, you will be there. And this is what they've been doing. This is why whenever someone starts enforcing the law, they will start attacking them, because what? You're attacking the de facto, which means what? You have impersonators in the seats of power. So look, so this letter, the civil orders, right, posted on in 2015, although it was issued in 14, right? Then it talks about Nasara, and there's Obama talking with the Pope. And then at the end, it's at the end, the close of the letter, the attorney says what? Attachments. Civil order, Anna Maria Wilhelmina, Hanna Sophia Ritzinger van Ritzenstein van Letlow Verbeck, private attorney in service to His Holiness Pope Francis documents related. The United States isn't a country. It's a corporation, hidden Vatican crown empire. We've been telling people that for 40 years. And they've been telling us that's that Moorish thing and we ain't Moors. Duh. So they've abandoned their estate. And they will be sacrificed. And we've been telling years for people, and they say, well, remember when, you know, because years ago when I used to talk to Marrakesh, he'd call me from Africa, ambassador's brother to Liberia, and which I told you, and I have pictures of his family home with his children. Ambassador brother from Liberia. At that time, that's when they was calling me when Mike was having that problem when they were setting him up about that boy in 93. And I wouldn't come out there.
Michael Jackson.
Yes. I sent them information and stuff like that. And they call me every Wednesday would call me. And I send them the same information and stuff like that. And then, of course, Mike, then he called that guy, the Khazarian, the devil. I told him, you know, I didn't talk to him directly about that, but I was saying to myself, oh, no, they need to argue the jurisdiction, you know, because I already knew they were still in this estate. Now they're doing it open with everybody. They're setting everybody up. Now, but what they did over the years, they contaminated everybody in order for them to maintain those status, which was all artificial, and they all got vouchers thinking they have money, and they're taking all of their estates. Now that's what you see going on right now. I'm not defending anybody, and I'm not condemning anybody, but I already knew this was going to take place. So the people that our people look at as idols and powerful and millionaires and billionaires, they're going to be broke overnight. They don't have money. Yes, they do. That's that Moorish stuff. That's how paper, because it spans, and they're arguing this. And the deal with is on them now. So a lot of things we would tell them to prepare to do years ago, it's almost like it's not that it's not important, but we're kind of past that. You don't understand the baseball game is about over. The curtain's getting ready to close, and the things that we're discussing relative to that, you should have been making that 10 to 20 years ago when we've been telling you ahead of time before the doo-doo hit the fan, and you're noticing that you got polka dot wallpaper, and that's not polka dots, that's doo-doo on the wall. The people are running into the real geopolitics, not because they wouldn't still be asleep, is that the rest of the world, billionaires, they're going to be broke overnight. They don't have money. Yes, they do. That's that Moorish stuff. That's how paper, because it spans, and they're arguing this, and the deal with is on them now. So a lot of things we would tell them to prepare to do years ago, it's almost like it's not that it's not important, but we're kind of past that. You don't understand the baseball game is about over. The curtain's getting ready to close, and the things that we're discussing relative to that, you should have been making that 10 to 20 years ago when we've been telling you ahead of time before the doo-doo hit the fan and you're noticing that you got polka dot wallpaper, and that's not polka dots, that's doo-doo on the wall. The people are running into the real geopolitics, not because they wouldn't still be asleep, is that the rest of the world has become active. And that's the reality. And we don't have the option. We don't have the time option that people think they do. You know, like they say, well, yeah, you used to say that years ago, but you told us that before. Yeah, we told you before to warn you. Whether you took it serious or not, we can't make you take it serious or not. You know, if it rings with you, it rings with you. If it don't, do what you've been doing. But if you think that these people ain't waging war on us, you know, we're not going to sit and try to convince you. Now they're getting ready, they're sacrificing these people. So if they're doing that to them, and keep in mind when part of the military, because they had been meetings getting ready to close, and the things that we're discussing relative to that, you should have been making that 10 to 20 years ago when we've been telling you ahead of time before the doo-doo hit the fan and you're noticing that you got polka dot wallpaper, and that's not polka dots, that's doo-doo on the wall. The people are running into the real geopolitics, not because they wouldn't still be asleep, is that the rest of the world has become active. And that's the reality. And we don't have the option. We don't have the time option that people think they do. You know, like they say, well, yeah, you used to say that years ago, but you told us that before. Yeah, we told you before to warn you. Whether you took it serious or not, we can't make you take it serious or not. You know, if it rings with you, it rings with you. If it don't, do what you've been doing. But if you think that these people ain't waging war on us, you know, we're not going to sit and try to convince you. Now they're getting ready, they're sacrificing these people. So if they're doing that to them, and keep in mind when part of the military, because they had been meeting for years after they bumped Kennedy off, and they actually appealed to Donald Trump to run. Donald Trump didn't run because he wanted to be president. That's a military operation. You have a split in the military complex operations. And so they're playing both sides of the table at the same time. But that's the real reason why Trump was assigned. That's why years ago over there, I would tell people, I'm not defending Trump, but Trump is on assignment. Oh, that's Taj's opinion on that. Well, I understand the politics, but I'm not going to try to argue with people who don't accept that. I know what I'm talking about. You know, and whether somebody believes me or not, I ain't arguing with them, and I ain't begging them to accept what I say. I'm more interested in the few people that might be left over after this, that we may have enough people to rebuild. If Donald Trump didn't run because he wanted to be president, that's a military operation. You have a split in the military complex operations. And so they're playing both sides of the table at the same time, but that's the real reason why Trump was assigned. That's why years ago over there, I would tell people, I'm not defending Trump, but Trump is on assignment. Oh, that's Taj's opinion on that. Well, I understand the politics, but I'm not going to try to argue with people who don't accept that. I know what I'm talking about. You know, and whether somebody believes me or not, I ain't arguing with them, and I ain't begging them to accept what I say. I'm more interested in the few people that might be left over after this, that we may have enough people to rebuild, if you get the point. But if these people think they ain't going to be sacrificed because whatever their feelings are, or their terms that they keep mixing with identity because of some emotional approach without them researching, it ain't like we ain't gave them information. They keep on thinking that we're against them. That's fine. But if they think these people ain't going to sacrifice them, they got another thought coming. Because they're going to bail in. They're not going to, how do you say, what they did before? They do the quantitative easing to cover up the real deal of what you call stealing from the people. They don't even know that inflation is really theft of a method used by corrupt governments to rob the people. Has nothing to do with prices being raised. Inflation is a political method by which corrupt government robs the people. That's the true definition of inflation. And people think, oh, well, the prices just went up because of demand, supply and demand. That's an aspect or symptom of it. That's not inflation. That's a symptom. Inflation is corrupt government robbing the people through de facto or connotative de facto democracy legislation, anti-constitutionally. This is why, if you start seeing what's going on the political level around the world, even with Zimbabwe and African nations, what they do? They threw France out, and they're starting to control their gold because they know that's what's up. And so all of the so-called BRICS currency is going to be based on gold, back to the fundamental principles. And so the U.S. corporation,
back to the fundamental principles. We'll yield right there. Fundamental principles or nothing. That's all you got. Islam Moors, you got 2 minutes. Any final remarks? Time to get fat right now. Moors, have any closing remarks? You could just unmute and close out.
I was gonna say peace to the flow, Islam to the family, and thanks for having me up. Grand Sheikh Kujoel.
Islam more.
Islam, good speaking to you again, brother Lovell. Grand Sheikh Lovell. Demonstration is real. Travel well. Peace and love to everybody.
Peace. Everybody's good. All right. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I think those other Moors are probably not near their device.
Islam Moors.
Islam. I know you're on the move or something.
I wanted to make sure I came back, but again, give thanks, Cujo, and I just want to reiterate, for those of us that come in this for the divine purpose, for nationality and birthright, not for fame and nobility, not for clout chasing, not for cash apps, not for finance, fame and nobility. That's not what some of us that are really living this life is about. We don't have time to play games, and we don't have patience or acceptance of dirty Moors, people that want to play with our movement and try to hold our prophet who's universal. So make sure you get your study tools, you get your prophecies and statements, you get your Circle 7, you get into a place where you are studying and you are working. And in that process, you will be able to demonstrate and walk and live according to those principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Islam. I yield the floor.
Islam. Any Moors have any closing remarks? Lovell or Brother Malik? Someone's so good. Peace and love to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Honors to all the Moors in the chat. Supreme honors to all the Moors in the chat. Honors to all the Moors on the panel. Peace and love to all the mothers. Islam Moors. Peace and love.